Oh, we've got a fire engine going past outside.
Well, that reminds me. I'm just still waiting for Nathan to arrive.
I'm afraid to inform you that Nathan is not coming.
Shall we play a game? Alright!
Hey, do you know what, Starlick? I've actually been playing some games recently. You know I just don't play games. Well, I play games now. Mm. I know it's hard to believe, particularly as I've been contributing to a kind of half gaming site for the last year or whatever, but I've been playing some games.
Check out you and your bad self.
You're up for time?
Yeah.
No, I mean just generally. Do you want to hang out?
Oh, I think the YMCA on Tottenham Court Road's still open. Do you fancy a swim?
Alright!
Well, anyway, I've been working my way through Games of the Years, which sounds like a section of this podcraft, but it's not. I've just been working through Games of the Years, so on recommendations I've been taking the best games, universally lauded games, and I started with Batman Arkham Asylum. Saw it in the sale on Xbox Live. got it for £3. I was compelled to keep playing it, and I was very happy with the length. I was obviously very happy with the value, but the mechanics, the fluidity of it. I'm not familiar with the DC world, but I'm familiar with the main characters and the main villains and so on.
It's an interesting point to make because you grow up thinking you're a DC person. But when it comes to how much impact each universe has made on your sort of like pop culture consciousness kind of thing. Let's say they made a Marvel movie making several completely random intellectual properties. Let's say they made a Thor versus Magneto movie. And that's just picking two characters completely at random. Would you like to see that?
No one would give two shits about seeing that piece of crap.
Well, that sent my little conversational thread there.
No, it's shit about seeing them.
Hey, darling, I'd be interested in seeing that film.
Okay, now let's take a DC equivalent. Let's say Superman from Superman Returns versus Green Lantern from the recent Green Lantern movie.
I couldn't give two shits about seeing that film.
And there you are. And there comes a time in your life when you have to admit to yourself that you're not a DC person, you just like Batman.
That's actually true. While my actual views on the last two questions were the opposite of the ones that I gave, the last point I completely agree with. And
You're a true hawk.
I'll take it for the team. No, it was wonderful. I didn't want to stop playing it. I don't feel like I want to revisit it. I'm going to get onto City at some point, although I've actually got a copy of Arkham City. I'm going to get onto that shit in a couple of months, I think. And while I might talk about them next week, I've also been playing Fez, which I've got a lot to talk about. Fez, well, that's a conversation for another time, and that is a conversation. God damn.
All right.
I am currently working through Dishonored. So I'm spoilt. I've been spoilt and I'm continuing to be spoilt.
You're ruined for any other man. Well, my 4th of February were Dark Souls, which has been getting me through the Monster Hunter lull.
Warning. Monster Hunter has entered the conversation. Please evacuate the podcast at the nearest exit.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Monster Hunter franchise. I bought a Wii when they announced Monster Hunter 3 on it. Yep. I waited 2 years while the game was delayed again and again and again. I actually went to the publicity event in Tottenham Court Road. I met the Ozo-san, who's the guy that makes it. And he assured everyone, yes, it's been a long time coming, but we assure you that we are completely rebuilding the game from the ground up. That's why it's taking so long. And the game came out, and it was a load of shitty reskins on tiny maps. So, fuck you, Capcom, you've broken my heart one time too many. So they've basically been sleeping on the sofa since that generation, and now Wii U's come out, and they're releasing Monster Hunter 3 again.
Full sale.
It's such an easy game to make extra content for, though. We would be and Monster Hunter fans are so easy to please.
Oh,
We
bullshit.
would be turning cartwheels in the street if we had even one extra map.
All right.
There's a difference between loyalty and easiness to please.
Okay, maybe you've got something there, Hock. Possibly gonorrhea. Off your mum.
Off Justin Bieber, then.
Okay. Did Dark Souls. That was pretty good fun. This was definitely a slow burner, Dark Souls. The sheer detail of the world is incredible, and there is no plot exposition whatsoever. So it's definitely one for replays so that you can appreciate just how incredibly crafted the world is. Of course, that's not for everybody. Some people are going to play a game like that and think, well, why are they not just telling me what's going on? But, horses for courses. Since then, I've pretty much been glued to Skylanders because Game has started doing second-hand Skylanders. So I can, I go down to Game, and instead of buying, a game for 5 or 10 quid, I buy a Skylander for pocket change. I bring it home, I stick it on the Portal of Power, and I end up falling in love with the game all over again.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe we should do a Skylander special for all those Skylander fans out there, the millions of listeners that hold Skylanders so dear to their heart.
Wouldn't you prefer a good game of chess?
Later, let's play. War.
Fine.
Oh, got a fire engine going past outside.
Well, that reminds me. I'm just still waiting for Nathan to arrive.
I'm afraid to inform you that Nathan is not coming. Nathan, a.k.a. our Lord and Master Bouncy Ball with an H after the second B. I'm in a bit of a difficult position here because I don't know how appropriate it is to talk about Nathan's personal situation on the show. He's certainly made no secret on the Mature Gamer of the fact that he works in one of the nation's, and in fact one of the world's most beloved high street chains. I'm talking, of course, about Ghostbusters. We finally got the letter through from Ghostbusters International, giving us permission to start our own Ghostbusters franchise. We had to gut the Rumbelows shop beneath the Lolocaust flat to make room for a hearse or station wagon.
It was the issue with the containment unit that was the problem, because we couldn't get it through the doors, so we had to take the top 2 windows out from the flat, swing it in, drop it down.
The newsbot got sent out in the middle of the night to steal an ambulance siren, except of course that this is Britain, so it went and the newsbot got sent back out again to get one that goes I got tasked with painting out all of the letters in the Rumbelows sign except for the O, and then I had to seat a Mr. Blobby toy that I'd painted white. I say I painted it white, Hock. Let's just say it wasn't white when I bought it.
He slimed me!
Anyway, I wanted to run the Ghostbusters franchise as a high... Are you watching MasterChef?
I'm more confident about cooking my own.
No. Carry on.
All right, watching you. I wanted to run the franchise as a high-class brothel with dead celebrities like Marilyn Monroe and a dead Jade.
He slimed me.
Yes, quite. Joystick Discharge wanted us to write a downloadable app that would play 5 seconds of the Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters theme. And then charge you micropayments if you wanted to hear any more. And if you wouldn't pay, then it would just go... for the whole fucking thing. Now, the problem came in with Dr. Hamhock's idea, because Hamhock wanted to run the whole thing as a subsidiary of his company, Hamhock Yutani. And his idea was to use the containment grid to make political dissidents disappear, and Bouncy got very dismissive and scoffed at him. So Hock decided to give him a demonstration, and long story short, Bouncy's trapped in the containment grid now.
Yeah. Old Bouncy Ball. Oh, Bouncy Ball. We really should release his family from the containment unit.
This is the news.
going to give us your thoughts about Margaret Thatcher, Dalek.
Was I?
Were you?
The funniest thing I've heard about Margaret Thatcher was on the front page of Wikipedia this week, which was the Conservative Party asks that the thoughts and the prayers of the British public be with Satan during this difficult time.
At least that's creative.
Other favourites are they're going to cremate Margaret Thatcher. Good luck finding the coal. Given the state of the steel industry, I'm surprised they could find her a bucket for her to kick. It would be nice to give Maggie a Viking funeral. Oh wait, we don't make ships in this country anymore. But possibly I think Steve Bell from The Guardian has walked away with the prize by doing a cartoon of Maggie being lowered into the ground, and she's sticking her head out of the coffin and saying, "Why is this pit still open?"
My own view on Thatcher reflects where I am now, and I wasn't really alive during that period. I was just a little thing running around and pointing, and I think Russell Brand called Margaret Thatcher, his impression of her at the time was that she was the headmistress of the country, and that was about the only impression I got.
My impression of her at the time was that she was a wicked, murderous, senile lunatic, and that she made me deeply ashamed to be British, which lasted into my mid-30s.
It's a shame. That's a shame for you, isn't it? It is a shame for you. My big issue about just all the commentary that's going around recently is basically that there's plenty of dirty political opportunism going on by the old left. And by the old left, I mean Dalek sex on this podcast. The worst being Dalek sex and Tony Benn. No class at all.
He's a bad young brother in actual fact.
Here's a few things that Dalek has been blaming on Margaret Thatcher's policies during her time as Britain's Prime Minister. Number one, Margaret Thatcher took away our free milk in school, then bathed in the milk from cats' teats to celebrate. She gave Jimmy Savile the hospital keys. She was responsible for the We Are The Lolocaust flaky broadcast schedule. She provided King Jong-il with a single unfertilised egg to help create super soldier King Jong-un. But instead, they created Justin Bieber. Margaret Thatcher invented the norovirus. Then she made your finger go through the toilet paper. She introduced feral gays to Brokeback Mountain, then gave Tom Hanks AIDS in Philadelphia. She flew planes into the World Trade Center just after he piloted the helicopter in Platoon, leaving Willem Dafoe for dead. She also wrote the original ending for Mass Effect 3 and edited the screenplay to Prometheus, but she didn't write The Phantom Menace. No one would accuse her of doing something so cruel as that.
I don't actually have a problem with Justin Bieber, but I would pretty much go with everything else there.
But you'd go at him with everything else there.
Are you implying that I would fuck Justin Bieber till he wept?
While he has the norovirus, that's right. I'm implying that you might push your finger through the paper to please him.
You're saying I'd breach the hull? Goldfinger!
The dishes that I know are really good and really work, and I've had really great feedback on in the past. So,
Are you watching MasterChef again?
Hey, Dalek.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Judith Chalmers.
Who's Judith Chalmers? I mean, who are you, Judith Chalmers?
You might know me from off of the telly.
You're not building up to a MasterChef thing, are you?
No. I used to present, and maybe I still do, the holiday show on the BBC's.
Oh, right, I'm with you. Are you the worthless waste of flesh and vagina who goes on holiday with a six-figure budget from the BBC and then comes back and writes an article on how useful a sari is?
In a way, yes. We're fast approaching holiday season, Dalek. Millions of our listeners will be jetting off to sunnier climes. But warning, team!
Warning, temporal disruption imminent.
Welcome to our regular consumer magazine dedicated to travel and tourism,
Thank you.
ratings and reviews. We take the best xenophobic and racist advice from TripAdvisor and distill it down to offer you the most comprehensive guide to holiday resorts in 2013. Welcome to Foreign Muck.
Foreign muck.
With Jim Lloyd in Magaluf and Judith Chalmers in Saint-Tropez.
This week, we concentrate on Maspalomas in the Canary Isles.
Surely that's a sex act as well.
Lizzie F. from Birmingham says, "Don't, if you're English. We have just returned from a 2-week break at Koala Gardens, and all I can say is, thank God I'm home. If you're German or Spanish, you'll love it. But if you're English, don't even bother. There's nothing to do during the day for English children. I know. I took 2 with me.
Not her children. Just 2 non-specific children. Took a couple of children with me, just in case the euro collapsed and there was a fat, sweaty copper threatening to rape her, and she only had a bunch of bumwad from the Bank of Toy Town in her wallet to bribe him with. She'd have some children there instead to offer him.
I know. I took 2 with me. Also, they should warn people that of a weekend they have loads of Spanish come and stay, and they
loads of Spanish come. .tumblr.com
and stay, and they are very loud, as we had to complain numerous times, and they are very rude, and they take over everything, and had 2 pools where we were, and you couldn't get near any of them."
2 English children found this review helpful.
Harry66 says, "Leave it for the Germans. I got back after a 7-day break. The hotel is mainly used by Germans and Swedes. No problem with that. But you'll not find one English guide folder at reception. The apartment itself is okay for what we paid, but a TV with no English channels, except BBC World News, watched it for 10 minutes. You should give the location of this complex some serious thought before booking. If you want to sit around the pool 24/7 with your new German friends and microwave your own food, it might just suit you. When staying, bring your sunbed A-game. Those Germans are the best towel commandos of the world. It's not easy escaping from Camp Koala."
5 escapees found this review helpful.
In the interest of balance, here's a review from Manili from the Rhine region in Germany.
Surely the Rhine region is something in Pokemon.
Yeah. He says,
"Sparkly Pikachu can only be caught in the Rhine region at night." Continue.
"Ideal for travellers who are accustomed to bad kitchen and otherwise have no prejudices against thieving staff."
This is Germany and Kazakhstan, obviously.
That's right.
It's nice.
He says, "Poor. Would be putting it too mildly. Food was permanently ill. Suitable for early risers, as from 7:30 a.m. all the chairs were reserved with towels."
7 towel commandos found this review useful.
And finally, we've got a comment from Family E17 in London, who say, "Poor. It's just joystick. Poor. A little homophobic too. During our meeting with the tour rep on our first day, we were told to stay away from the Jumbo Centre in the evenings after 10 p.m. Well, we know the Jumbo is a place for the gay nightlife, but found this a strange statement to make. Maybe even an homophobic one at that."
It's not terribly strange, is it? I mean, if you were a tour advisor, it's like, stay out of that place or you might get bummed.
"I have taken to offence to the statement on 2 accounts. Number 1, I have family members that are gay, and it is them who told me about Gran Canaria in the first place. Number 2, we went there with our children and went to a comedy show bar called Sparkles. I have to say, it was the best night of our holiday. So we went back there on a few more occasions."
16 gay family members found this review useful.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
You'd like that?
Intensely. It would bring us together.
We're doing a new feature here. We call it 2 Girls, 1 Hock, where I read something out from the depths of the internet. I have been to the very depths of the internet so many times that they have had to install a revolving door for me. And God damn it, Hock!
I'm going to do some...
Do you want to talk about My Little Pony while I pretend to be sick?
Warning. My Little Pony has now been targeted for termination from orbit. You have 4 minutes to evacuate.
I am loath to. Now, before I do, I have to ask you a question. Have you still got that timeshare in the orbital laser that Kim Jong-un gave you as a birthday present?
Oh, yeah.
Right, now this is why I was saying I'm a bit loath to do this feature, because every time I read something this appalling on the internet, I kind of visualise you with the controls for it, like lovingly fingering your button.
Well, kind of maybe just gripping the joystick between my thighs and pretend like you know when you're driving but you don't want to use your hands.
Something the physical restraint not to wipe out the species from orbit, because it's the only way to be sure.
I say we nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be sure, according to some film or other.
A man wrote a letter to an artist on DeviantArt, an artist whose thing is producing clop material.
What's that?
Clop. Is that a game where you control each of the 4 legs of a horse and you've got to trot it from the right-hand side of a level to the left, and going over a hill in the process, maybe doing forward rolls?
Clopping is what we bronies call fapping.
You keep it away.
So a clop fiction is...
wanking with hooves.
Wanking with hooves.
Yeah. I'm sure I've got that on DVD.
This letter was a heartfelt plea to deviant artist Kevin Sano, asking him to stop drawing erotic fan fiction of Twilight Sparkle, who is the main character, ostensibly, in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I think it would best if I read you an excerpt from the letter.
Oh, yes, please.
You see, I'm totally head over heels in love with Twilight Sparkle. I have been for about 11 months now, and at this point I'm in a committed relationship. I don't date anyone else, I don't sleep with anyone else, and I have zero interest in any kind of relationship with anyone other than the Mare Amador that I adore. I'm 100% committed to that love, and to express my love in a real and tangible way. It burns! Point being, he's not objecting to this because, you know, stop making pornography of a children's show, you freaks. But because Twilight Sparkle is his bride. Don't get me wrong here, though. This isn't a jealousy thing. I'm very secure in my relationship. I know without question that Twilight is just as faithful to me as I am to her. She's actually sitting on the couch next to me while I type this.
What?
Oh, it burns!
I should, in his defense, point out that he's got a plushie of her.
Are you sure it's not just a cushion with 4 baked bean tins and an ice cream cone superglued to it?
She's
with
very real
with a strategic hole placed on the back end of it.
SPH. She's very real to me, and I know she's not sneaking out in the middle of the night to have kinky sex with some famous artist. But what a wonderful world we live in, when a man can stand up and say, I know that the pony I love isn't sneaking out at night to have sex with some famous artist. That's deeply wonderful.
I like the vaguity of some famous artist.
Some famous artist, you know, could be someone on DeviantArt, could be Banksy. Everyone wants a
you'd
piece
know
of
you'd know if it was
Twilight
Banksy, because wherever he sprays, he leaves a permanent mark worth about $500,000.
I know quite well Twilight Sparkle is not your plaything or your property. She's my fiancée. What I find really loathsome is your penchant for degrading my partner in your art. It really does bother me. I don't take any issue with people having kinky sex as long as both parties consent and enjoy it. And I know that my Twily has no desire whatsoever to be treated like that. I think I've broken Dr. Hamhock.
Masala lamb chops, spiced crushed potato.
That's fine. I'm okay now. That's fine.
It's the only way to be sure.
Dalek, would you like to introduce the next section?
Well, the working title is Agony Uncle Newsbot. We've been asking the interwebs at large for problems. Only 2 of you could be actually asked to get off your fat Tomb Raider playing arses and send Uncle Newsbot in some problems.
Hello, listeners. It is great to be back. Now let me bring a little bit of fucking quality to this 2-bit broadcast. Our first letter is from Sean of the south coast of England.
Uncle Newsbot, we've recently redecorated our youngest's bedroom. Yesterday, she drew on the walls with a pencil. Please help.
Thank you for your letter, Sean of the south coast. Cause and effect, bro. Cause and effect. Often, in these difficult parental scenarios, removing the cause of the problem often produces startling results. For example, if a child is starting fire, remove the matches. In this case, the same principle applies. Your daughter is drawing on the walls with a pencil. Simply remove both her fucking hands. Maybe you should have visited the local family planning clinic instead of having a greedy mange fumble on the back seat of the number 98 bus, before blasting your filthy baby gravy up your wife's pretty play pipe. Cause and effect. Deal with it.
So that was the first of the 2.
My own idea would be a little bit more mature, because I did work in childcare for 4 years, so I'm a bit more experienced than Newsbot.
Childcare?
Yes. That's what I said. I would treat your offspring as an adult, sit them down at the table, take the pencil, place it, point up on the table in front of them and say, "Do you want to see a magic trick?"
Our final problem for today comes from a Mr. Chris Beck, also known as Welsh Beck, via Twitter.
Fuck yeah.
Uncle Newsbot, I want to purchase a bottle of Grey Goose vodka, then Instagram a picture of me holding it. Too expensive. Can you help?
Thank you for getting in touch, Chris Welsh Beck. Many of our listeners will empathize with your situation. They too dream of a higher social standing, only to realize that changing nappies with one hand and playing FIFA 2013 with the other will not make fit plunge come a-knocking. Being a high-standing douchebag myself, my Instagram feed is littered with the bodies of people who failed to reach my level of goosebaggery. Maybe you could hang out with me. Pick up my empties, fill them with piss and vomit, then pose for the photo like some horrible baseball cap-wearing duck-faced tramp. Do not come to me with a problem, come to me with a solution. Bro, deal with it. Well, there you have it. Join us next time for more of your problems solved by Uncle Newsbot. Send your problems to us via Twitter, Facebook, or the website. Goodbye.
Oh god, I write a load of shit sometimes, especially when a robot's saying it.
You know, I just tuned out there when you said duck because it reminded me that at GDC this month, they announced that they're rebooting DuckTales.
DuckTales. Ooh.
And the original voice actors are coming back to do it.
That's interesting.
Lucky dime, motherfucker.
And the original voice actors are doing a lot at the moment, are they?
Yeah. Second series of DuckTales in the pipeline is there, lads.
What's how much? How much do these voice actors bill? DuckTales.
See what you did there. I'm not going to explain that joke. It would only be for Ham Hocks fans. My fans will get it. My fans are on the case. The sex case. Just pack it in, will you?
What's a doppiata?
What is a duppiata?
I don't know. It sounds like a sex act involving somebody with Down syndrome.
Global sales of PCs fell 14% in the first 3 months of 2013, the biggest decrease since research firm IDC started tracking the industry in 1994, a figure that underlines the appeal of tablets and smartphones as alternatives to PCs.
Well, I think there are two factors. One, of course, is the growth of tablets, and the other is the disappointing uptake of Windows 8. Microsoft bet the farm on Windows 8, and its partners like Hewlett-Packard and Dell and all of the PC companies rushed to create Windows 8, not only laptops, but tablets and hybrids that are kind of part tablet, part laptop. And the public isn't buying them in huge numbers. I think people are confused by it. I don't think they quite know what it is. And then the other factor, which is always a problem, at least in the last few years for PCs, is it good enough is good enough. Why upgrade? Why get a new computer when the one you've had for 2 or 3 years is doing the job just fine? They're sticking with the ones that they already have.
Sex talks about apps. Uh-huh.
I had my parents over for the weekend last weekend.
Yeah.
They came down. They don't come down together that often. They kind of...
Okay.
My dad's not a technophobe. He just can't be arsed. And my mom is like big into it, and she was playing with my iPad, and we came down on the Friday. I picked them up from the train station. They were sleeping at ours. We ordered something from Just Eat. They ordered a takeaway in, but we used the Just Eat app, where you basically just pick what takeaway you want, and you order it on the touch screen, and then you pay for it on the touch screen, and it gives you a time of delivery on the touch screen, and so it's all like modern. It's like living the future and everything. My mum was like, "Oh, I really have to get myself an iPad." I said, "Mum, you just bought yourself a laptop." She said, "I know, but it's a bit big." I said, "You bought the laptop because you had a desktop." She said, "I know, but I'd use the iPad." I'm like, "Oh, just fucking shut up! I can't believe you're down for the weekend and already you're pissing me off." So that was pretty much the last app I used, apart from email at work and bits and pieces. Dalek, what have you been playing? What have you been playing on your touchscreen device?
As usual, Clash of Clans has been kicking my free time's arse and seriously impinging any ability I had to get shit done. It is a fantastic game. It's taken up probably more percentage of my time for the amount of time that I've been playing it than Zombie Cafe did. And me and Bouncy were fairly fucking obsessed with Zombie Cafe. Apart from that, I've done Badland, which is fantastic. I'm currently playing Ridiculous Fishing. Good fun. Great blast. It's sort of like one of those infinite distance tilty avoid 'em ups crossed with a touch shoot 'em up, which is lovely. I am playing The Other Brothers.
The brother of another mother. You're the brother of another mother. You're like my brother of another mother. You ever thought about that? Just a little twist, add a little twist to it though. You were saying you're fucking my mother and probably all the listeners' mothers as well as satisfying the 45 million users on Origin.
Yeah.
If you're fucking my mother and you're the brother of another mother, am I the son of a brother of the same mother?
Anywho. If you're familiar with the alt art versions of Mario Brothers, basically taking a cutesy, lovable video game character and rendering them in very dark, realistic tones, then you should be right at home with The Other Brothers, which is Mario Brothers reimagined in the real world. They're sort of like New York garage mechanics, and they're fighting the mafia. And it's quite interesting. It doesn't play like a Mario game. It plays like Earthworm Jim. The only one I really want to tell you the details of while I'm here is the Tweets of the Dead. And that is a shoot 'em up which monitors Twitter as you're playing. And every time somebody on Twitter says the word zombie, it spawns their name as a zombie for you to kill. and their Twitter name appears over their head along with what they've said. And basically, it's can you win in a fair fight versus the internet's obsession with zombies? And the answer is no, of course you can't. It's not a great game. In fact, it's a fairly shit game, but I just like what they've tried to do there. You can set it to any of the trending topics, so you can set it so that if somebody says Justin Bieber,
you could write down, you could set it for hashtag MasterChef.
That's the best celeriac mash I've ever tasted.
only if hashtag MasterChef is trending, but you can only choose between zombies and whatever the trends are. Justin Bieber is trending all the time, so you can just get on there and shoot believers in the face to your heart's content.
Which you've done on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
I understand.
I certainly have.
You could write down, you could set it for hashtag MasterChef.
That's the best celeriac mash I've ever tasted.
Hashtag MasterChef. Go and check out Dalek's review on lolocaust.co.uk.
Lolocaust.co.uk. Hashtag MasterChef.
Lolocaust.co.uk.
Lolocaust.co.uk.
I think you'll find it's lolocaust.co.uk.
Hashtag MasterChef.
.co.uk. Sorry, yeah. Co.uk, Andrew. Hashtag MasterChef. And, or Dr. Hamlock.
Hashtag MasterChef.
I don't know who you're talking to. Depending on whether it's my mom or whether it's you, the listener.
Do people call you Andy?
They call me Andy or Hock. Yeah.
Okay, so I can probably get you to get you to like have a cold sweat by going Andrew. Hashtag MasterChef. So yes, yeah. Dynamic crowdsourced in-game content.
Hashtag MasterChef.
More of it, please. Hashtag MasterChef.
Sex talks about apps. Uh-huh.
If you've enjoyed the Lolocaust, why not try these other fine holiday destinations? Visit the Picturesque Monday Movie Show, which has basically the only movie reviews worth a fuck now that Ebert's curled his feet up. Make a side journey to the quaint Gamescast to enjoy their fine wines, gaming chit-chat, and to meet Britain's only spherical human. On Friday, the circus comes to town, courtesy of the Mature Gamer podcast and its fascinating menagerie, including the coated man and the girl who can only communicate via sex noises. And for those of richer blood, no true connoisseur of burping and swearing at the internet can afford to miss What a Fool Believes, the web's second finest purveyors of aliens references and saying cunt a lot.
Oh, fuck it!
I'm quite excited about cooking for John and Greg. If I get them just right, it should impress them.
Natalie, your 2 dishes today are?
Can't work under these conditions!
We are the Lolocaust.